Your global news on RSI Radio Senegal International. From here and abroad, we bring you the main news, verified information and inspiring guests. Every other Wednesday at 4 p.m. Stay tuned or connected. Stay informed. Stay global.
Good afternoon and welcome to RSI Global News on Radio Senegal International 92.5.
Global News on RSI, Mam Khoudiassam.
Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The Transform Health Senegal Coalition is advocating for the adoption of a digital health law. They are touring the country. We will hear from Saint-Louis. In our special report, we follow Senegalese pilgrims who have finished the Hajj 2026. In international news, Nigeria is getting ready for the general election next January. Our English lesson focuses on the present continuous tense. Students from the Limamulai English Club debate whether to study abroad or remain in Senegal after high school. In our Africa segment, we are going to discover Liberia, Africa's first independent republic. Our guest Ustaz Ibrahim Masila reminds us the lessons of Hajj and Tabaski, and in culture a look back at the 5th edition of Feel It in Dakar, a festival in literature. These are our top stories. Stay with us.
Global news on RSI.
Senegal has a new government of 30 members led by Prime Minister Amadou Al-Amin Lo. The team is now in charge of implementing President Bassirou Diomaye Faye's priorities and advancing the Senegal 2050 development agenda. Several key ministers kept their positions to ensure continuity in strategic sectors. Not that Ousmane Sonko's party, Pastef Les Patriotes, has decided not to participate in the new government. As the school year draws to a close, the ban on cell phone use in schools continues to bring about mixed reactions among students, teachers, and parents. While many support the measure as a way to reduce distractions and cheating, others are calling for a more flexible approach that considers educational needs and emergency situations. Now to help, the Transform Health Senegal Coalition is calling for the adoption of the digital health law. Its members met with elected officials in Saint-Louis to promote the benefits of this reform. Oman Ying reports.
The digital health law has many advantages. Transform Health Senegal is urging the National Assembly to vote for it. Abdul Aziz Mandian is a member of that coalition.
This law would be welcomed. Digital health reduces the cost. It would help our friends with disabilities to be comfortable at the appointment. So there are gains in terms of finance, time, and the quality of the services that we receive in health centers. So roughly speaking, here are a few, but there are several advantages compared to that.
Voilà grosso modo quelques, mais il y a plusieurs avantages par rapport à ça.
In partnership with the Departmental Council, Transform Health Senegal held a meeting in St. Louis to promote the would-be law.
Nous avons convié les élus.
We invited the elected officials to discuss with them about the advantages of digital health, the principles of data governance. These elected officials fund healthcare just like the central government, and they do good work. It's also time they took this into account in their planning, in their programming, so that digital technologies stand at the health of their planning, so the communities they serve can truly align with their national guidelines and benefits for real-time care, with many more beneficiaries.
Et pouvoir bénéficier des soins à temps réel.
The chairman of the Finance Committee of the Departmental Council, former Member of Parliament, Chambasek, welcomed the initiative brought forward by Transform Health Senegal.
On était venu parler de la santé digitale.
We came to talk about digital health. Time has come for digital health for multiple reasons. We as local authorities are truly pleased with the debate. In Senegal, digital health is the issue.
La santé au Sénégal passera forcément par une santé numérique. Je crois que ça c'est un aspect extrêmement important.
Omar Nying, St. Louis, RTS.
Moving now to our special report, about 12,000 Senegalese pilgrims performed the Hajj in 2026 from Medina to Mecca They prayed for their families and for Senegal. Among them, our reporter Cherno Diallo.
Pilgrims are presently doing Umrah or lesser pilgrimage after the Hajj properly. Hajj begins at the Biru Ali. The pilgrim starts his intention after 2 rakas and direction to Mecca by bus after 4 hours of road, repeating Labaik Allahumma Labaik. Arrive at Mecca, the 7 tours of the Holy Kaaba after 2 rakas behind Mahaba Ibrahim. Then pilgrims drink Zamzam water, ending Safa and Marwa. After leaving Mecca, Mina, the city of tents, around 100,000 tents for 2 or 3 million pilgrims. The 8th day, Mina, where conditions are tougher. Then Arafat, the 9th day, pilgrims pass just the day praying. Here you can go to the mountain of Misericord, where the Prophet Muhammad delivers his last speech. Muzdalifah welcomes Hajj, who say that prayers of Timis and Gay, then come back to Mina walking or by bus, then go to Sow Jamra for 4 days after 7 kilometers walk every day. After this step, the last 7 tours of the Holy Kaaba. Here ends the Hajj. During the whole pilgrimage, pilgrims are guided by guides of the Senegalese delegation, Medinatul Munawara. The first step, you can visit Uhud Mountain, Al Kubra, and Qiblatain Mosque. Senegalese pilgrims really appreciate this year by their behavior and discipline. Cherno Diallo from Mecca, out yes.
Cherno Amadou Diallo came from Canada to do his pilgrimage. He told Cherno Diallo how he experienced it.
We were there for 5 days at Medina, and then we came to Mecca, and after Mecca, we went to Munna, which was a little bit a stage which was
very tough.
It was tough. It was a tough situation over there. And then when we came back here, it's okay. So we're relaxing right now. But yeah, generally speaking, it was good. And yeah, we went with the customs, which was very good. So it was a good experience. And I would recommend everyone next time that are coming to just come with the customs.
So what about the heat?
The heat was here, but it's part of it, right? Well, when you're coming like for Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, you have to support many things.
So you pray for your family? For,
everyone
Senegal,
I know. So what I did, I just took my phone, all my contactees, and I was just praying for everyone. So praying for our countries as well, which is very important right now, because right now it's like we are in a normal country.
Globally satisfied?
Satisfied 100%, and I would recommend everyone else to come back with this.
And you come back next year?
It's not sure. I wish, like I said, but yeah, hopefully my wife will come next year.
In international news, Nigeria will hold the general election next January. Political parties have already selected the candidates. Through primary election, the current president will face some of his main opponents from the 2023 election. Mamadou Chor for the details.
Of the 22 political parties registered with Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), at least 11 had declared their presidential candidates as of May 31st. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the incumbent president since 2023, has secured the APC All Progressive Congress ticket for a second term. At 74, the former governor of Lagos State from 1999 to 2007 will face again the 80-year-old Atiku Abubakar. The former vice president emerged as the candidate of one faction of ADC, African Democratic Congress. He's a longtime People's Democratic Party PDP stalwart and multiple presidential contender, including the 2019 and 2023 elections. Peter Obi, 65, the third man 4 years ago, will represent NDC, Nigerian Democratic Congress. One of these three is likely to win the presidential election due January 16, 2027. Obi's younger age will play in favor of him compared to the older Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar. The confirmed candidates emerged after primary elections conducted in different parts of the country, while some others chosen through consensus affirmation. The process has, however, not been without controversy. In some parties, dissatisfied aspirants and party stakeholders have raised concerns. This development signals the beginning of a new phase in the political contest, with parties now shifting focus toward nationwide consultation, alliance building, and preparation for full-scale campaigns. We have a fragmented opposition in front of an incumbent seeking re-election. Factions, particularly in the People's Democratic Party, African Democratic Congress, and Social Democratic Party, highlight deep division that could influence the outcome of the race. The stage is now set for a fiercely contested election.
RSI Global News, learn with us.
And now it's time to learn English. Today, Limamullah High School in Gejawai presents a lesson on the present continuous tense, one of the most commonly used tenses in English. Yusuf Conte went there.
So you, dear listener, we welcome you to Limamullah High School. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Sow.
Good afternoon, Mr. Yusuf Conte. It's a pleasure to have you here in Limamullah High School.
And today we are going to deal with the present continuous or the present progressive. What is this tense?
The present continuous is a very important tense. As I used to say, it's the real present. Now, first of all, I'm going to describe you the form. The way we form the present continuous. In the affirmative form, generally we form it with to be, with auxiliary to be. When I say to be, it is is, or are, plus main verb plus ing. Affirmative form will have subject plus is, or are, plus verb, main verb plus ing. Negative form, you have subject plus is, or are, plus not, plus main verb plus ing. Interrogative form, you have is, or are, plus subject, plus main verb, plus ing, plus question mark. In interrogative form, you have also is, or are, plus subject, plus not, plus verb, plus ing, plus question mark. Now, this is the way we form the present continuous.
This is the structure. Can we just give one example?
Example, when you have to go. In the affirmative form, we say, I'm going. That's why I said a while back, we have is, or are. We say, I'm going, but we say, he, she, it is going. And we, you, they are going.
All right. When do we use the present continuous?
Before we tackle the use, I just want to remind you, not all the verbs take the ing form. Some verbs, we cannot put them in the present continuous. Generally, it is the stative verbs. Verbs that describe emotion, verbs of perception. These verbs, we cannot put them in the present continuous. Example, to know, to believe. Example, to understand. Example, to see, to forget. These verbs, we cannot put them in the present continuous.
You mean I can't say I am knowing the answer?
You cannot say that because to know is not an active verb. Only active verb take the ing form. But when a verb is a verb of emotion or a verb of perception, it cannot take the ing form.
Do we have some time makers or indicators or, adverbs that when we see them, we know automatically this is present continuous?
Yeah, there are many time markers. Before that, I would like to come back to the use itself. We use the present continuous to describe something that happens at the moment of speaking. It means that the action has started and it hasn't finished yet. Example, at the moment you are interviewing me about the present continuous. Here we have started and you see we haven't finished yet. We can also use the present continuous to express temporary action, something that happened for a short time. Example, this week we are learning English, or these days we are training. These are things that are not happening at the moment, but that happens for a short time. And we also can use the present continuous to express a near future. Something that is fixed or something that is arranged in a near future. Example, today Fatu is getting married. It means that it is arranged and the action is going to happen in a near future. Or tonight she is leaving to Dakar. This is the use of the present continuous. If you want to better know, you have also to understand the time markers, because tenses, they often go with the time markers, and present continuous has its own time markers. Example, time markers like at present, presently, at the moment, for the moment, currently, right now, now, for the time being, this week, today. An expression like look, the cat is chasing the mouse. Or look, the dog is chasing the cat. It means that the action happens at the moment of speaking. I want to draw your attention at something that is happening at the moment of speaking. Listen, I'm explaining, or I'm talking. You see, When I was asking you to listen, the action is happening.
How do we add the ing form? There are some verbs, for example, ending by E. I think there is a rule that we should respect.
Yeah. Verbs ending in E, we drop the E before you add the ing form. Ride, we say riding. Drive, we drop the E and we say driving. Come, we say coming. That's it. And apart from that, you have also verb that end in consonant, vowel, consonant. There we double the last consonant before we add the ing form. Example, when you have to cut, I'm cutting, I'm digging. And you have to dig, we say, I'm digging, okay? Here we have to double the G. And there also you have to double the T. That's it.
That was my pleasure to listen to you, Mr. Sow.
All the pleasure was for me, okay?
Yeah, that was very, very clear. And I hope you, dear listener, you learn more with Mr. Sow. Thank you very much for listening to us, and I'll give you rendezvous in 2 weeks.
Schooling lets the better at school welcome the English Club.
Staying with education, members of the English Club of Limamulai High School are discussing an important question. Should the student go abroad to continue their studies or stay in Senegal after high school? The debate with Yusuf Conte.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, dear students. It's a pleasure to receive here our brother from RTS, Mr. Yusuf Conte. Welcome, Mr. Yusuf Conte, to Limamulai High School. Today, our students, they decided to talk about a very topical issue. I mean, seeing what's happening here in Senegal. I mean, you see here in Senegal, we have, it's very hard. Now, seeing what's happening, is it better after graduation to go abroad or to stay here? Because there are many strikes, there are many very bad things here in Senegal nowadays. Now, seeing that, is it better to go abroad or to stay here in Senegal? Now, they are going to give more argumentation about this. Now, first of all, they are going to introduce themselves before they start. Each of them is going to introduce himself or herself. My name is Michel Moussasso. I'm an English teacher here, and I'm the cell coordinator, and I'm also the one who coordinated, the activities of the English club. I'm the coordinator of the teachers, English cell, and the coordinator of the club. Now I'm going to give the floor to one of the students who are going to present the topic.
So, hello everyone. I hope everything's okay. The name is Fatoumata Diop, student down Limamulai High School in Upper 6 S2O. I'm the former president of Limamulai English Club. And today, I would like to address a very important and deeply concerning issue. The situation our country is facing, especially what university students are going through. University life in Senegal has become increasingly difficult. First, the courses start very late, and as a result, academic years last much longer than they should. Second of all, life in campus is far from adequate, with too many people sharing one room. On top of that, students at university have to buy some printed lecture notes they can't even afford. And with all of these challenges, some of them are not even receiving the scholarship they are entitled to. So with all of this, can we really blame a student who, after their baccalaureate, wants to go abroad? Is it escape or is it ambition? Are we living because we want to build a better future? Or are we living because we have lost hope in our own country? What do you think, guys? For that, I'm going to leave the floor to my sister, and she's going to develop. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So I go by the name of Mamarem Jan. I studied down Limamulai High School, and I'm the vice president of LAPA. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that the topic is a very interesting theme that resonates with the situation of university here in Senegal. And I believe after graduation, we should go to abroad because we have also learned mistreated, even brought down for no reason. In the face of this, we are forced to leave to gain knowledge abroad. In reality, if it were up to us, we would stay. But we refuse to be sacrificed and to plunge our family into distress. Moreover, the study conditions abroad are much favorable than here. To make a long short, we live today to be a builders of tomorrow. So that was all, and thank you. I let my brother to
So, Salaam Alaikum dear listeners, this is Sayyidina Mohamed Nya from Limamlai High Level Education. I am the president of Limamlai Access Program Association, aka LAPA. So, I do not share the same opinion as my sister here just said. I think going abroad is a solution, but it's not a permanent solution. If you want to find a solution to the issues that are happening in the colleges of the Senegal, the issues that we are always seeing, we should give opportunities to the students of those colleges to study in Senegal, to study in good condition, and also to work in Senegal. Like, the issue, I think, is not the colleges, but those who manage them, like the government. So I think they should provide better conditions for the students who are there, and if they graduate there and find good jobs, they can develop the country and change our condition. So that was my point of view. Thank you so much.
So hi everyone, my name is Aminata Diouf. I'm in Lao 6S2 at Limamlai High School and the Vice General Secretary of Limamlai English Club. So to begin with, I think that going abroad after graduation is maybe an amazing opportunity for our personal and professional development. Moreover, the University of abroad offer high-level training and specialties and aren't always available in Senegal. And every work abroad can give us the opportunity to develop an international contact. Finally, I think we have responsibility to our country, but we must also think for our blooming. Going abroad doesn't mean abandoning your country. So I say yes, let's go abroad, but with spirit of coming back. Thank you.
So hello everyone, my name is Mariama Bahou, I'm 17. I study in Limamlai High School in Pharmacists, and this year I'm the General Secretary of Limamlai English Club. So the question is, should we go abroad after graduation? So I think it's a deep and important question. It is a question asking for advice or opinion about going to another country after completing school or university. So if you see the situation that some are facing at our university, many students wonder whether they should go abroad or stay in their home country. Going abroad can offer better opportunities, quality education, and international experience. So as I say, I totally agree with that, and I really think that we should go abroad after graduation. Thank you so much.
So, you guys heard our opinion and the side we're defending. What is yours? Don't forget to tune in to Limamlai Access Program Association, because here we learn what we don't, we share what we know, and we learn what we don't. Thank you so much.
Yes. Hearing what you said, I think that going abroad is optional. It depends on the person. Now you can, if you find yourself going abroad, you can go abroad, but if you find yourself here, you can stay here. Now it depends. Now it can be a solution, and staying here also can be a solution. Now it depends what you have in your mind. But even if you go back, it's better to come back when you got what you needed. That's what we need. Thank you.
It's time to travel across the continent. Liberia, whose capital city is Monrovia, is the first independent republic in Africa. Founded in 1847, it was never officially colonized by a European power. Naiko Manjai tells us more.
Liberia is bordered by Sierra Leone to the northwest, Guinea to the north, and Côte d'Ivoire to the east. To the south, the country has a long coastline along the Atlantic Ocean. English is the official language, and the national currency is the Liberian dollar. The country covers an area of approximately 111,369 square kilometers. It has a tropical climate characterized by warm temperatures throughout the year and a rainy season that usually lasts from May to October. Much of Liberia is covered by dense tropical rainforest, making it one of the most forested countries in West Africa. It is also home to numerous rivers, wetlands, hills, and coastal plains. These natural features contribute to the country's rich biodiversity and environmental importance. In the early 19th century, formerly enslaved African Americans were resettled in the region with the support of the American Colonization Society. The first major settlement was established in 1822. In July 26, 1847, Liberia declared its independence and became Africa's first modern republic. During much of its history, political power was concentrated in the hands of descendants of the settlers. In 1980, a military coup led by Samuel Doe ended more than a century of political dominance by the settler. Later, Liberia experienced two devastating civil wars between 1989 and 2003. These conflicts caused widespread destruction, economic decline, and the loss of many lives. Following the wars, the country began a process of reconstruction and reconciliation. In 2006, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf became president, making history as Africa's first elected female head of state. Liberia is a democratic presidential republic. The president serves as both the head of state and the head of government. The country has three branches of government: the executive branch, which implements laws, the legislative branch, which makes laws, and the judicial branch, which interprets laws. Liberia's political system is modeled in part on that of the United States, reflecting historical ties between the two countries. The Liberian economy relies heavily on agriculture, mining, and natural resources. Many Liberians work in farming and produce crops such as rice, cassava, cocoa, coffee, rubber, and palm oil. The country is one of Africa's important producers of natural rubber. It also possesses valuable mineral resources, including iron ore, gold, and diamonds. In addition to agriculture and mining, Liberia has one of the world's largest ship registries. Many international shipping companies register their vessels under the Liberian flag, which generates significant revenue for the country. Despite its natural wealth, the country continues to face economic challenges, including poverty, unemployment, and infrastructure development needs. Liberia has a population of more than 5 million people and is home to numerous ethnic groups. The largest ethnic groups is Keppel, but other important groups include the Bassa, Gio, Kru, Gribo, Mano, and Vai peoples. Although English is the official language, many indigenous languages are spoken throughout the country. Liberian culture is rich and diverse. Traditional music, dance, storytelling, and craftsmanship remain important aspects of daily life. Festivals, ceremonies, and cultural celebrations help preserve the traditions of the country's various ethnic communities. Food is also an important part of Liberian culture, with common dishes including rice, cassava, palm butter, and fish. Education plays an important role in Liberia's development. The government has worked to improve access to schooling since the end of the Civil War. However, challenges such as limited resources and inadequate infrastructure still affect the education sector. Major institutions of higher learning include the University of Liberia and Cuttington University. The country is known for its extensive tropical forest, which contain a wide variety of plant and animal species. These forests are among the most important ecosystems in West Africa. The country has several protected areas designed to conserve wildlife and natural habitats. One of the most important conservation areas is Sepo National Park, which is the largest national park in the country and serves as a refuge for many rare species. Football is the most popular sport in Liberia. The country's most famous sports figure is former President George Weah, who became the first and only African player to win the prestigious Ballon d'Or award in 1995. His success brought international recognition to Liberia and inspired many young athletes. Liberia is a nation with a unique history, abundant natural resources, and a rich cultural heritage. As Africa's oldest republic, it has played a significant role in the continent's history. Although the country has faced serious challenges, including civil conflict and economic difficulties, it has made important progress in rebuilding its institutions and improving the lives of its citizens. Today, Liberia continues to work toward sustainable development, political stability, and economic growth while preserving its diverse cultural and natural heritage.
RSI Global News, now the guest.
Back to religion, our guest today is Ustaz Ibrahim Silla. He shares his reflections on the lessons of Hajj and Tabaski and reminds us that this religious obligation should be performed by those who have the means to do so. He spoke with Mamadou Chor.
Ustaz Ibrahim Silla, what a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. All the pleasure is for me.
Muslim accomplished last week the Hajj to the holy places of Islam. How important is this fifth pillar for a Muslim?
Pilgrimage is one of the 5 pillars on which Islam is based. If you are able to do it and you refuse to do it, immediately you go out of Islam. You are no longer a Muslim. To show you that that pillar is very important.
But to do that pillar, you have to have the means to go to these holy places.
Fortunately, it is not compulsory, but it depends on your means. Whenever you don't have the means to do it, you are free. The Almighty is very, very kind and very merciful. But if you have the means to do it and you don't do it, it means that you have abandoned your faith in Islam. It worth the while to do it because the Prophet said the salary of a pilgrimage which is accepted by the Almighty, the salary is paradise, nothing else, paradise. Our goal here is to finish in one of the nice houses in paradise. So when you fulfill the pilgrimage, normally, correctly, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, peace and blessings be upon him, said, your reward is paradise. That's right. You can say that the pilgrims are going to seek for a building in paradise. It's very important.
The pilgrimage in itself takes place between 5 to 6 exhausting days, which requires being physically ready. Isn't it risky to see all people going there as it is a habit in Senegal?
This question is very important because the capacity is very important. As I used to say, I tell them it is not terrorism. Pilgrimage is not terrorism because it is very hard. It is a competition, very hard competition. It is a test. The Almighty is testing everything. Your physical capacity, your mental capacity, your forgiving, everything is tested. But that's why pilgrimage is not a game. It's not terrorism, but it is an ordeal. It is a test organized by the Almighty.
So that's why we should encourage people to go there younger?
Oh, it's better. It's far better to go when you are young, able, well-built body. That's why, some elders are suffering, definitely. They are suffering because their physical capacity is lacking. You need energy. And if your energy is not that developed, you will have problems. That's why it is a real ordeal for elders. It's better to go when you are young and full of energy. It's better.
Ustaz Ibrahim Silla is our guest. You host a religious program in Radio Senegal. We have just celebrated Eid and Adha, known here as Tabaski. What is the main message behind this sacrifice?
The main message behind the sacrifice is threefold. Let's say my friend and my prophet Ibrahim, he was told in a dream to sacrifice his son. Although he was about 100 years old without children. In a dream, the Almighty who told him to sacrifice his son, his beloved son. It was a problem. It was a big test. Faithful as he was, he accepted. The second lesson was the consultation. He called his wife and told him about the project. The Almighty has told me to sacrifice Ismail. Look, the wife. This is another message. The wife was faithful to her husband. She said, you are the prophet of Allah. You are the friend of Allah. If the Almighty has commanded this, do what your Lord has said. The contrary to the women of today. Killing my only son. I got when I was so old, immediately, without hesitating. He said, execute, obey your Lord. He went to consult the son. When he told him about the project, the son told him, hey, my dear father, do what the Almighty has commanded. You will find me patient. I will accept patiently to undergo this ordeal. The first lesson is the lesson of obedience. They all obeyed the command of the Lord.
Is Tabaski Sunnah or Farata? First, what these two approaches mean?
When Prophet Ibrahim, peace and blessings be upon him, obeyed the Almighty and was ready to sacrifice his son, he ran the knife. At his very big surprise, he didn't find a dead boy, but he found a dead ram because the angel Gabriel has retrieved the boy and has put there a ram. So he sacrificed the ram. That ram sacrifice is an occasion to show the face. And when the Prophet Muhammad came, the Almighty told him, hey, Muhammad, you have to keep on the Sunnah. The Sunnah of Imam Ibrahim, renewed by the Prophet. It was from the Prophet Ibrahim. The Almighty gave the order to the Prophet Muhammad to perpetuate this Sunnah.
How come the social pressure here on parents during Tabaski? Should they resist or be easygoing with sometime death after the feast, a lot of money to pay back?
When you don't have the means, you are forgiven. The Almighty said in the Quran, "La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha." The Almighty will never order a test which is beyond our capacity. Never. He will never recommend us something which is beyond our capacity. That's why those who try to do everything to sacrifice a ram, they do it by themselves. If they don't have, the Prophet ﷺ in his Tabaski, he slaughtered 2 rams, one for himself and his family, and the other one, he said, I sacrifice this one for all my ummah until the end of time, for those who don't have a ram to sacrifice. It's not a problem. Definitely, they make it a problem where there is no problem.
Ustaz Ibrahim Silla, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. You are welcome.
In cultural news, the 5th edition of Field Dakar International Literature Festival was held in Dakar from May 19th to 22nd, 2026. The festival brought together nearly 30 writers from different continents under the theme Literature Without Borders. Adrame Ismail Khalid attended it.
During the 5th edition of the Dakar International Literature Festival, the Senegalese capital resonated with the rhythm of words and ideas. Literature for a world without borders was this year's theme. Bakary Sarr, Secretary of State for Culture.
Literature is, by its very nature, a bridge between worlds. It transcends geographical, linguistic, and historical divides to forge unbreakable bonds between human beings. The theme chosen for this edition, Literature for a World Without Borders, resonates with particular urgency in the current global context. It invites us to reflect on the universal role of literature as a space of encounter, dialogue, and understanding between peoples, cultures, and generations.
Bringing together nearly 30 writers from Africa, Europe, and America, the Dakar International Literature Festival has established itself as a key cultural event on the continent. This is why the Secretary of State for Culture, Bakary Sarr, reaffirmed the Senegalese government's commitment to supporting the book industry and cultural diplomacy.
We are working to position Senegal as a true international cultural hub capable of attracting global attention while affirming the uniqueness of our identity. Above all, we hope that books will fully play their role as cultural and industrial products, enabling our first to earn a decent living from their art and allowing the entire book industry, publishers, printers, and distributors to benefit from the positive impact of this dynamic and structured sector.
With this 5th edition, FLID confirmed its commitment to firmly establishing Dakar among the major literary hubs of the African continent.
Some music now. Let's enjoy.
For music, Maher Zain is our artist today. In his song Muhammad, he praises the holy prophet of Islam. And that brings us to the end of today's RSC Global News. Thank you for listening to Radio Senegal International 92.5. Stay informed, stay connected, and keep listening to RSC for more news and programs from Senegal, Africa, and around the world. Goodbye, and see you next time.
You've been listening to RSC Global News on Radio Senegal International 92.5. Thank you for joining us for news, music, learning, and global conversations. See you in 2 weeks, same time, same frequency. Stay curious, stay global.